How you doing, YouTube? I just got back from the 20K in Pennsylvania for ARG. I didn't really do too well. I went X3, and I didn't make the top cut. It ended up being 9 rounds. I played BA Monarch. I thought the deck was really strong, and I just want to go over my list real quick. I played 2 Farfar, 3 Skarm, 2 Seer, and for my 1-ofs, Barbar, Alec, or no, Barbar, Livik, Calcab, Graf, Alec, Tour Guide, Karaz. I played 3 Ether, 3 Erebus, and I played 2 Maxis in the main deck. Before I had Twin Twister mained, and I thought it would make the deck really versatile, but I wanted a stronger BA matchup. Because I felt that against the Pendulum matchup, which is also the other hard matchup, I could have my Monarchs to essentially give me a chance to play. While against like a BA deck, this still needs to set up sometimes, so I need counter Beatrice plays, so I made a Maxi for that reason. I played triple Terror, Top Talk, and Tomborg, 3 Prime Escalation, and then for my spells, Double Domain, Triple Tenacity, Triple Storm Forth, Pantheism, and then Foolish. For my extra decks, the cool thing about this is I made everything throughout the tournament. I played 3 Beatrice. 3 Beatrice comes up a lot. 3 Dante. Double Pallades. The reason I play double Pallades is in the BA matchup, 2 will come up. Especially when you're playing cards like Escalation and Ether. Sometimes you just tribute the one off, so the second one does come up like very often. And the same thing for the Monarch Mirror. It sounds kind of weird, but sometimes you just need a quick card to play, like a quick effect for playing around opponents' Ethers and Escalations and Primes as well. The double plays that come up, and the plays in general came up a lot against Monarch. Things such as, say, they brought out Prime on their turn and they end. If you go for game, you go like Pallades bounce Prime, and then like they don't have a Prime to bring back essentially to play, so you have that extra damage. And he's really good in like BA in general. Durandal is really strong too. This also is up for Monarch when they Ether, use Shane, and hope for the best. And it's good against like Cosmo and stuff when you're scared of a Mirror Force, you just play Durandal and attack through with like a domain up. Volcasaurus, Guy Charger. He's really nasty because Takum Townborg. He's a wind monster. And he went for a game a few times for me. I did want a second Pilgrim sometimes, but I just couldn't find the space. This guy, Utopic Future is really strong. He's really good against Blue Eyes too. Especially when you make that Dark Matter Dragon, you can attack and take for 4,000 attack. And he's particularly really good in this deck as well too. Not to say that he wouldn't be played, but the reason for me saying that is sometimes you draw Prime or Pantheism and you need access to it somewhere else. Like, how do I move this card from my hand to the graveyard? Breaksword becomes like the great way to do that. Even if you set Pantheism, blow it up, or you blow up to like an Erebus and you ditch your Prime or Pantheism, this card helps you move cards around that you normally wouldn't be able to, especially like the Monarch cards. And then my side deck was, so my main deck I made to go first, and I made this in case I had to go second. But everything in my side deck was meant to go second, and like some cards we can put in going first too. Like Magical Spring was for the big Pendulum deck. It's like if they lock their scales, they Iris, like this is game. Or in general, when they go first and they make a big board, you want to dig for your cards. So when I go second, I side in 3 of these. I go first and second, I side in 3 of these. Because you beat them with your Stormforths and Monarch effects. And it's the only variant of, I think, BA that you can play while your opponent still has an active scale set. Rather than, like, say for example, PK, you can't really play when they have an active scale set unless you draw, like, Strike. And you can't really deal with an established board. Well, this deck not only lets you deal with an established board, they'll lose their scales in the process, which is really good. Other monsters are pendulum summoning out. Play the 3rd Maxi. 3 Ghost Reaper. I'm really starting to think this card's bad. I resolved it 3 times and I lost those 3 games in the tournament. Because you activate this, especially it's like in the BA Monarch Mirror, like you activate it, they lose a card, and then they tribute something for Erebus, then you're down 2 cards. So you're starting your turn with like 4 cards to beat like the regular amount. Typhoon. In the main tournament, I forgot to write this down, and I played with 14 cards in my side deck. So this I added in afterward. Double Veiler was really good for Monarch too. 3 Twin Twister, and Raigeki Dark Hole for the Monarch matchup. If I could go back, I'll put Breakthrough Skill in my side deck somewhere. It was really good against Monarch, but I just didn't put it in. That's my whole deck list. If you have questions, feel free to ask.